What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I want to talk about draft prospect Jordan Davis. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys continuing to tune in to the channel. Continuing to share out my content on all the social media platforms. If you would like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you would like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. If you would like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, it's either $2.99 or $4.99 if you would like to be a member of my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you guys who continue to help support the channel. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So like I stated in today's video, I do want to talk about draft prospect Jordan Davis. I will be doing breakdowns on different college players as we head into the draft now that it is the offseason for our Atlanta Falcons. And my first draft prospect, as I mentioned, is Jordan Davis. He is the player that I'm doing a spotlight on today. I do think that the Falcons should draft Jordan Davis with that number 8 pick in the first round of this NFL draft in 2022's NFL draft. Jordan Davis is 6'6", 340 pounds. He is a national champion. He did win the championship this year with the Georgia Bulldogs. So shout out to the Georgia Bulldogs again on being the 2022 college football champions. And Jordan Davis was one of the leaders of that defense, along with Nakobe Dean, the linebacker, the inside linebacker for the Georgia Bulldogs. But I definitely think that right now I do have him as my number one prospect at that number 8 pick for our Atlanta Falcons because I think the guys like Kayvon Thibodeau will be drafted at that point, who's the edge rusher out of Oregon. A lot of the guys that I think the Falcons will be high on their draft board by number 8. They'll already be drafted. So with that 8th spot, I think right now on my draft board at number 1, for based off of the Falcons' needs, to me, Jordan Davis should be the number 1 pick. He's the number 1 pick right now with that 8th pick for our Falcons on my draft board. You guys know that I'm big on trench play and being in the trenches, being able to win in the trenches, games I won and lost in the trenches, either the defensive line or offensive line. Usually the team that dominates the trenches is a team that wins the football game or wins majority of the football games in the NFL. And I think that the Falcons have to get back to the basics. And when I say get back to the basics, stopping the run and being able to manipulate and affect the quarterback and getting the quarterback off his spot and being able to sack the quarterback. I mentioned this in the last couple videos. Our Atlanta Falcons only had 18 sacks in total on the year. We had the lowest sack total in the NFL for all the NFL team, all 32 NFL teams. We had the lowest sack number with 18 sacks on the season, and that's something that has to improve. And I believe you build a team from front to back. Start with the middle of your defensive line or offensive line, and you work your way back on your defense. You work your way back on your offense, and that's how you build a championship football team. And I think that Jordan Davis is a guy that you can put next to Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett has been a dominant player in the league for the last 4 to 5 years since he's been with our Atlanta Falcons, and we're wasting Grady Jarrett's prime. We're basically wasting a lot of his good years. We've wasted a couple of his good seasons. We did get to the Super Bowl in 2016, but we didn't finish the deal against the Patriots. But I think that it's long overdue that we bring in a running mate for Grady Jarrett. And I really think that that's the number one reason why the Falcons should go out and get Jordan Davis, is he can be that legitimate nose tackle for our team, that guy who can eat up blocks and allow Grady Jarrett to be the pass rusher that he is as a 3 technique. If you go out and get that big body, 6'6", 340 pounds, and Jordan Davis, automatically he takes away the double teams that Grady Jarrett is, the double and triple teams that Grady Jarrett is experiencing week in and week out, like we've seen this season, where Grady Jarrett pretty much was the main focal point of teams being able to slow down our pass rush and also being able to run the ball against our Atlanta Falcons. We've talked about it before, and Foye Luakan, after one of the games this year, he talked about the Falcons being gritty, not pretty. And I think that this is the move the Falcons need to go with. If we're going to be gritty, not pretty, and we're going to be a gritty football team, the way that you get gritty and down and dirty is building the line, building your defensive line, having a dominant defensive line, having a dominant offensive line. And I think at this point, with this first pick in this draft, with that 8th pick, I would take Jordan Davis. We have to value the trenches. Thomas Dimitroff, when he was here, he didn't do a good job as a GM of drafting players in the trenches. To me, he always were taking guys out of the Senior Bowl. He was drafting guys late in later rounds instead of taking the guys out of the SEC, the top inside pass rushers, selecting like nose tackles and edge rushers out of the SEC. Usually are the better players, and earlier in the draft usually is where the cream of the crop type players are. Thomas Dimitroff didn't do a good job of going after those players. Other than Vic Beasley and Tat McKinley, those were pretty much the only guys that he drafted early on in the draft. We did draft Perea Jarrett, who turned out to be a bust as well. But that also falls on Thomas Dimitroff and falls on the scouting team for not going out and bringing in quality talent. But I digress. With that being said, Jordan Davis, to me, like I said, is one of the best. To me, he's the best run stuffer in this draft. He's the best inside defensive lineman in this draft. He's a guy that you can move up and down the defensive line. He not only can play the nose tackle position, but he can play the 3-tech. You can move him around on your defensive line, but mainly he's that legitimate nose tackle. And I feel like every championship defense needs that guy in the middle, that nose tackle. If you think about the Ravens back in the day with Haloti Ngata, Tony Siragusa, in front of guys like Ray Lewis. If you think of even in today's game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are currently the reigning NFL champs, they have Ndamukong Suh. They have Vita Vea, who they just signed to a huge extension. Those guys, you need those guys up front to allow your linebackers and allow your defense to play fast and to play physical. When you don't have those guys in the middle, you see your linebackers struggle. A lot of people talked about Deion Jones this year struggling. I don't feel like Deion Jones had a bad season, but Deion Jones would have had a lot better season if he had a player like Jordan Davis in the middle of our defense, which don't allow the centers and allow those offensive guards and those offensive linemen to get to the second level. When you have those big guys in the middle, we seen we brought in Anthony Rush. We seen we brought in guys like Mike Pennell. We seen how much better the linebackers played and how much better they were able to run sideline to sideline and be able to make plays in the backfield when they had those big guys up front to limit the offensive line from having their way and being able to get to the second level and get up on our smallest linebackers. So I think that Jordan Davis really would be the best pick at this number 8 pick, because he's a guy that not only is he a great player individually, but I feel like he'll make the whole defense better, because now you're able to stop the run. You're able to keep those guys off of Deion Jones and Foye. You also help your secondary, because now you have a guy in the middle that can put initial pressure, especially on pocket passers like Tom Brady. He's a really big dude, 6'6". He'll be able to get his hands up and tip passes at the line. He'll also be able to give guys on the edge like Dante Fowler, like the guys that we've had, like the Ogun Dages of the world. When you have those guys in the middle, Grady Jarrett, and you have Jordan Davis in the middle, those dudes are going to make the outside rushers' life a lot easier. Another thing that I think that Jordan Davis brings to the table that'll help our Atlanta Falcons, and the reason I say that is not only he's a great player, but he'll make the whole defense better, is he'll be able to stop the run. We'll be able to stop the run with having him in the middle. We'll be able to limit teams, because that's been the Atlanta Falcons' Achilles heel over the last couple seasons, is we haven't been able to stop people's run game, other teams' run game from running right at the teeth of our defense. And teams are getting, 5 and 6 yards a carry. If you bring in a guy like Jordan Davis, you limit teams from being able to get those 6 and 7 yards on first down and second down where they have a lot of third and shorts. And you'll be able to rush the passer on third down because it'll be a lot more 3rd and 7s, 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 9s, 3rd and longs. But this year we've seen, because we couldn't stop the run, it was a lot of 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s, a lot of third and mediums, a lot of 3rd and 5 or smaller. And we have to be better on the first 2 downs. On first and second down, we have to be better at stopping the run. If we stop the run, then you give your pass rushers a chance to get after the passer. This year, because we were so bad on first and second down, as far as giving up, 6 and 7 yards to carry on certain plays, giving up, a lot of yardage on first and second down. By the time it got to third down, it was like 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, and teams were able, if they did pass the ball, they were able to just do a quick slant or a quick throw because they basically didn't have a lot of yards to gain, so that the quarterback doesn't have to hold on to the football and give the pass rushers a chance to get around the edge. So I definitely think if you bring in a guy like Jordan Davis, he affects the whole defense. And I definitely think that that's something that we need here in Atlanta. I've been preaching it for years, that the trenches matter, that the trenches are the Falcons' biggest Achilles heel. We've seen it again this year with not just only our sack numbers, but we've seen it again this year in big games, like against the Buffalo Bills. They were able to run the ball for 100+ yards. They pretty much had their way on running the ball. In week 1 against the Philadelphia Eagles, they had their way. And it was just a number of games this year where teams were able to run the ball successfully. And basically, they were able to prevent us from being able to rush the passer on third downs because it was a lot of 3rd and shorts. So with that being said, you guys let me know what you think about Jordan Davis as possibly being that guy that the Falcons will bring in with that first round pick. I definitely think that he definitely would be a player that'll be one of the foundational pieces for this defense to become a championship defense. You'll have 2 guys in Grady, Jarrett, and Jordan Davis, who both, to me, can be dominant players. I know that Grady Jarrett's already a dominant player, but I haven't seen Jordan Davis, of course, on the professional level yet. But he definitely was a professional. He definitely was a top playmaker in college, and I definitely think that he could be a very dominant player in the NFL because of his size and strength. You can't teach size. I always talk about that, being 6'6", 340 pounds, and having that strength and having the quickness, because he's a lot quicker than the average guy that's of that size. And his skill level and the type of player that he is, he does bring that championship mentality, being that he was able to win a college championship with Georgia Bulldogs. I definitely think he can bring that winning mentality to the Atlanta Falcons locker room, and he can bring that attitude. As I talked about before, if we're really going to be a gritty team and be gritty, not pretty, as Foye said earlier in this season, we need to bring in those guys on the defensive line that's going to be tough, that's going to be physical, and that's going to move guys against their will and be able to cause havoc and affect the quarterback. But with that being said, this been your boy Jew. You guys let me know what you think about the video. I definitely will have a lot more videos coming for you guys talking about my other draft prospects that I have on my draft board. But my first pick right now on my draft board for our Falcons at 8 would be defensive tackle Jordan Davis out of Georgia. With that being said, this been your boy Jew. Please hit that subscribe button for your boy. We are currently on the road to 2,000 subscribers. I also have a lot more coming for you guys talking about What's the Word Dirty Bird, which I will be kicking off season 2 this coming Wednesday. I will be kicking it off at 8 p.m. It'll be 1 hour from 8 p.m. Eastern time to 9 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely tune in to that as well. I'll have it on my community tab in the next couple of days, just promoting the show. But definitely tell your friends and family to tune in and get ready for this upcoming Wednesday night. And I'll tell you guys what the topic will be soon. But with that being said, this has been your boy Jew. I'll holler at you guys in the next video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. Peace.